Welcome. This is Micah Fairchild, Editor-in-Chief of PayrollLab.com, and our topic of conversation today is the Sage HRMS payroll solution. So far, in our previous high-level discussion of the top 10 payroll solutions, we highlighted Sage's robust capabilities for payment schedules, the company's comprehensive reporting features, their partnership with Atrix for taxes, and the deep ERP functionality that can be tapped into for Sage payroll customers. And even though that's quite a list so far, we've got more to cover, including additional items we think prospective buyers should know about regarding the solution's weak points, the company's future directions, and even some more features that we found to be particularly helpful. I'm joined today by my colleague, Chuck Schaefer, who is the CEO of Vantive Media, and who will be helping us parse out the most important information for our business leaders and payroll buyers that are tuning in. So welcome, Chuck. It's good to have you with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Micah. I'm looking forward to getting into some of the finer details of the Sage HRMS payroll solution today.
Well, in that case, I say we jump right in. So the Sage Group, it's obviously one of the largest companies in our top 10 solutions. In fact, if my figures are correct, they're the fourth largest ERP software company in the world. They got 30 plus years within the enterprise software industry, over 6 million customers spread out over 160 plus countries, 4 global subsidiary units, which include Sage North America, Sage North Europe, Sage South Europe, and Sage AAMEA, that represents Australia, Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Not to mention somewhere in the neighborhood of 30,000 business partners. So obviously this is a big company. So why don't you start us off with some initial thoughts, Chuck?
Sure. Well, you're absolutely right that Sage Group PLC is a big company. But since our focus for this discussion is on payroll software, I think it's important to note that only a very small portion of the company is dedicated to the payroll and HR software solution. In fact, Sage HRMS, which is where the payroll solution resides, is only a part of one of those global subsidiaries that you just mentioned, which is Sage North America. And when you tally all the numbers up for the company, it's quite evident that the accounting and finance software is Sage's strong suit and clearly represents the bulk of their customers' revenues and focus. It makes up about 55% of the company's revenues, whereas only about 10% come from payroll and HR software.
You're absolutely right about that, Chuck. What we see from Sage is really more of a software conglomerate than a single solution provider, which is one of the reasons I think their payroll and HR software is not more heavily utilized. I mean, of course, the company's sheer size is impressive, but it's also something of a double-edged sword because they've achieved this through an aggressive and prolonged merger and acquisition strategy rather than organic growth. And these years of assertive acquisition have in many respects really limited the appeal of the Sage product line because clients are choosing instead to gravitate towards those vendors that provide a stronger, simpler, more cohesive offering. Which unfortunately it puts Sage out of the running.
That's a valid point. Not only that though, but many within the payroll and HR technology analyst community have indicated that this strategy has resulted in integration issues between those disparate software offerings. And although I won't offer up a wholesale disagreement with that sentiment, I will say that from what I've seen from Sage, integration and intersystem partnerships are slowly but steadily becoming a priority. After all, they have over 230 products in their portfolio. So take, as an example, integration and data sharing between the payroll and HR functions of the system. It's now seamless, as is integration with other Sage ERP areas such as some financials products and timekeeping. So prospective buyers shouldn't necessarily discount Sage if tight integration among business applications is important.
You know, that's a good point. And I think that applies to a host of third-party integrations as well. For instance, customers can leverage through Sage's online marketplace their third-party endorsed solutions, like Cornerstone On Demand's talent management suite. They can use that for learning, performance, compensation, and succession management, or Visibility Software's Cyber Recruiter. For simplifying the recruitment process. Or, well, since we're going ahead and talking about payroll today, Sage customers can also utilize CompuPay's outsourced payroll, tax filing, and web reporting capabilities.
Yes, Sage has recently stepped up their ecosystem of integrated online third-party products. And relative to some of your mentions, I would also include Sage's integration with the Delphia Consulting's HR Actions for web-based workflows or Vineyard Soft's Knowledge Sync for business process management. These are the types of bolt-on solutions which add value to our earlier reference of customers seeking an integrated apps strategy.
That's true. So clearly, integration issues aren't nearly as bad as many in the industry want to make them out to be. But what about functionalities and feature sets? Now, there's another place where the Sage HRMS product gets dinged by pundits left and right for being subpar. So is that a similarly strong element of the Sage solution in your opinion, like integration is, or you think it's lacking as well?
Well, I wouldn't say that it's grossly deficient, but there are some issues I have. For one thing, it's a modular offering, which is generally a positive feature, but it's also a package system, meaning there are different ranges in functionality and services depending on which package is selected. For instance, customers can opt into either the standalone, select, or workforce packages, but popular functions such as self-service capabilities are only available with the company's top-tier workforce package, functionality that very few modern companies would even consider not deploying.
I'm with you there. It seems like this illogical feature set placement is the same issue that we ran into with Infor Lawson, just not so extreme. Sage also shares some not so great similarities with some of our other vendors in the mobile payroll and HR area as well. I'll grant them the fact that they're spot on with dedicating the bulk of mobile functionalities to self-service. But Sage's mobile support only delivers JavaScript and HTML, elements that are specifically designed to be used through the browser features of these devices. Obviously functional. The issue with this browser-based mobile functionality is that it doesn't provide the native user experience that customers have honestly come to expect from mobile form factors. They have recently partnered with Appliance to deliver iPad and iPhone support, but unfortunately it's not natively built either. Well, listen, if you can believe it, Chuck, we're running low on our time. So before we call it a day on Sage, what else would you think our viewers should take away from this discussion?
I'd offer a few things to payroll software buyers for their evaluation consideration. First, Sage HRMS is a mature, solid system that meets the majority of needs of the SMB market. But for evaluators that find missing requirements, software customization to fill those voids may have implications. The Sage Payroll and HR user interface does offer useful but very limited configuration options, but buyers should be aware that Sage classifies such customizations as an upgrade-worthy charge and change, and only clients accessing the select packages can customize field screens and dashboards. And with regard to customizations, Sage HRMS does not use a multi-tenant database architecture and similarly doesn't offer platform as a service tools to support software customization in a cloud or typical software as a service environment, where software customization is performed within the constructs of multi-tenant architectures and provision using layers of abstraction between the data and application logic so as not to impact future releases and upgrades. And finally, recognize Sage is not known for an aggressive innovation agenda, so companies seeking the benefits of disruptive technologies such as native software as a service, social media integration, workflow automation, big data analysis, and the like may be better served by a payroll software publisher other than Sage.
Great. That's great insight, Chuck. Thanks for that. And while I'd love to hear more of it, especially with regards to Sage and our other products we've discussed, I think on those last few thoughts you had, we're at a good stopping point. So to all you viewers and prospective buyers out there, thanks for following along today. But be sure to tune in next time as we continue our search for the top payroll solutions and our exploration of the nexus of payroll processes, payroll strategies, and technology.